Professional rugby is a world of structure, control, and precision. It's a game of patterns where executing a plan is everything. There's not a lot of room for chaos, and for that exact reason, it's a game that almost left Damian De Allende behind. They said he was reckless, unstructured, a loose cannon in a world of unflinching order. For years, critics and pundits questioned his decision making and his passing game, and whether he was really cut out for the clinical pressure of test match rugby. This is the story of that chaos became a weapon. This is how the raw, untamed kid from Cape Town became the unbreakable, two-time World Cup winning heart of a Springbok dynasty. This is the man rugby almost rejected. If you want to understand the force of nature that is Damian De Allende, you don't start at the famous rugby academies that turns out future champions. You have to go to the unfashionable side of Cape Town, to Milnerton High School, a school known more for its cricket pitch than its rugby team. And that's because for a while, cricket was his game. De Allende was a gifted bowler, so talented that he once took wickets against the actual South African national team in an exhibition game. Rugby was just something he picked up as a teenager. He didn't come from the powerhouse schools like Paul Roos or Grey College, the traditional production lines for Springbok legends. His path was the tougher one, grinding through Western Province youth teams and fighting for a spot in the Varsity Cup with the University of Cape Town. There was no silver spoon, no predestined greatness. Every single step was a battle. When he finally broke into the Stormers team in Super Rugby, the raw talent was impossible to ignore. He was a physical specimen, a 100-kilogram missile with shocking speed. But the whispers followed him. He was labeled a bruiser, one-dimensional battering ram. Critics focused on what they saw as a lack of finesse and reckless streak that led to errors. A player running on pure instinct when the game demanded cool intellect. The setbacks were brutal. In 2014, just as he was about to realize his dream, a call up to the Springbok camp was ripped away by a cruel knee injury. It was a heartbreaking moment that seemed to prove the doubters right. Maybe he wasn't meant for that level. The raw materials were there, but the finished product felt like it was always just out of reach. He was a wild horse the system couldn't and maybe didn't want to tame. Often, a player's turning point isn't about changing who they are, but about finding a coach who knows how to use them. For Damian De Allende, that coach was Rassie Erasmus. When Rassie Erasmus took over the Springbok rugby in 2018, he saw something everyone else has missed. He didn't see a reckless player. He saw a weapon that just needed to be aimed. Rassie understood players from tough backgrounds because he was one of them. He knew the fire that made De Allende look chaotic was the same fire that could build a champion. He looked past the so-called flaws and saw the mongrel, the raw, unteachable fight you only get when you have to scrape for everything. Rassie's philosophy was simple. Don't tame the chaos, channel it. This new belief unlocked a new player. De Allende's brutal power became a strategic tool to consistently break the defensive line and get his team moving forward. His time playing for Munster in Ireland sharpened him, where he became a master of the dirty work while still being a scoring threat, proving he was more than just a battering ram. He was named to the 2020-2021 Pro 14 Dream Team, a testament to his evolving game. And then came the final, crucial piece of the puzzle, Lukhanyo Am. Their partnership in the midfield was the perfect fusion. Am was the calm reader of the game, the subtle artist. De Allende was the storm, the blunt force instrument. Together, they were a nightmare for opponents. Lukhanyo Am and I have a very strong bond, and it helps that we get along so well off the field, De Allende has said. The connection was almost telepathic. We have a good feeling for one another, he explained. So, I do something on the field, he's there to back me up, and vice versa. If Am was the scalpel, De Allende was the hammer, and under Rassie Erasmus, the Springboks were about to build a dynasty with this once questioned partnership at its very core. The 2019 Rugby World Cup in Japan was when the world finally saw what Rassie Erasmus knew all along. This wasn't just a comeback story, it was a coronation. De Allende, the player once seen as too unstructured for Test rugby, became the vital heart of the Springbok machine. He started 6 of South Africa's 7 matches, showing just how durable and important he had become. He was no longer just a battering ram, he was a tactical weapon. In the quarterfinal against Japan, his try broke the host nation spirit's defense, but it was the suffocating semi-final against Wales that Damian De Allende truly carved his name into legend. The game in Yokohama was a brutal arm wrestle. The score was tight, and every inch felt like a monumental victory. Wales simply refused to break. With the clock ticking down and the Springboks behind, another World Cup heartbreak felt terrifying close. And then it happened. The ball found the Allende. There was no elegance, no fancy step. There was pure, raw will. He smashed into the Welsh defensive line with two, then three defenders clinging to him. He was going down. He had to go down, but he refused. Through sheer, bloody minded strength and a desire born from a career of being underestimated, he dragged himself over the try line. It was the winning score. South Africa won 1916. That one moment was the perfect summary of his entire career. The collision, the struggle, and the absolute refusal to be stopped. That try didn't just send South Africa to the final, it was the ultimate validation for the kid from Milnerton. It was the moment that chaos became glory. He followed it up with a dominant performance in the final against England, and the man rugby almost rejected was officially a world champion. After that victory, the debate was over. Damian De Allende wasn't the reckless outsider anymore. He was the benchmark. Teammates and rivals alike saw him as one of the most feared and respected centers in the world. He became a two-time World Cup winner in 2023, joining an elite group of players to have conquered the world twice. His partnership with Lukhanyo Am is now spoken of in the same breath as legendary Springbok pairings of the past. The very thing he was once criticized for, his power, his directness, his aggression, became his trademark. But he also evolved, adding subtle passes and offloads to his game, proving the doubters wrong at every turn. He is, as one journalist put it, the glue of the Springbok backline. Rassie Erasmus said it best when he predicted the Islanders' path, saying that if he could reconnect with the fight that defied him, he will be the X factor that can make him one of the best inside centers in world rugby. He found it. The story of Damian De Allende is a powerful reminder that talent doesn't always come in a neat, polished package. Sometimes the most powerful weapons are forged in fire, the ones that have to fight for their place, the ones that simply refuse to break. His journey is a testament to perseverance and to the idea that your greatest perceived weakness, when channeled correctly, can become your most devastating strength. The chaos was never a flaw, it was his superpower all along. What do you think is the most underrated part of Damien De Allende's game? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want more stories about the legends of rugby, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching.